What's up, guys? Coming at you today with a full slate of college basketball action here on Tuesday, February 17th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So take that 10th of a second and slam that like button. It really helps get these videos promoted out there on YouTube. Keeps me motivated to get in here and grind out one of these videos every single solitary day. And it's just a really nice thank you to me. So I really appreciate everybody that takes that 10th of a second. Also, check below and see if you're subscribed. I know a lot of my viewers are not subscribed. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and being subscribed to the channel is absolutely free and will help you get a notification every single time that I post a video so you don't miss out on these picks that I'm putting out every single solitary day. Also, while you're down there, get in the comments, leave me a comment asking anything you want to about today's slate, about any questions you have across the sports betting world. If you have questions I can't answer, I can always reach out to the premium handicappers over there at stumpthespread.com, and they might be able to get you an answer there if I cannot. So definitely make sure you get down in the comments and check the pinned comment while you're down there. That's where you'll find my favorite picks from every single video every single day. You'll also find a link there to stumpthespread.com so you can get over there and check out all of their stuff. And that's where you'll find my massive lock of the day and my dog of the day. So definitely make sure you're getting down there. In terms of our results for yesterday, guys, it's still a bit up in the air. We're 2-2 so far. We break down on Syracuse plus 21.5. This was a big look ahead spot for Duke with Michigan on deck, but they did not look ahead and they crushed Syracuse in that one. We still got Abilene Christian plus 1.5. It's the very end of that game, so hopefully they can hold on for us. Getting that 1.5 might actually come in pretty clutch. We did easily cash the under there in Grambling versus Prairie View, under 151.5. A very easy cash there on the under in this one. Neither team playing with much pace. It helps that Prairie View had a very bad shooting night, only 131 total points. Like I said, guys, a very easy cash there in the under. We also cashed Coppin State plus 4.5. It was a straight up 59-57 win for them. And in this low scoring game, the Eagles, they shot the ball well from three, got the win despite turning the ball over a staggering 19 times, which is pretty freaking wild. We still have Houston live plus 2.5 as our dog of the day. They're in a dogfight there with Iowa State, so we'll see what happens in that one. Still basically the whole second half to go. We bricked our massive lock of the day. The massive lock of the day has been on a great run, guys, but this one did not work out. Bethune-Cookman could not come through. It'd been a while since we took a loss there, and yeah, they fall victim to a transcendent shooting night there from the Jackson State Tigers. They shot 50% from the field and from three and outpaced their season scoring average by more than 20 points. Absolutely bonkers level stuff. We see Abilene Christian tie things up there with 4 seconds left, so we'll see what happens. They are drawing live in that game, obviously, so we'll see. We'll keep updated on that, but we got to dive in, guys. We got a ton of games to cover today. We'll break down the premium stuff as well, so let's go ahead and get after it. First off, we've got one of the biggest games of the entire day. We get the number 1 Michigan Wolverines going on the road, taking the number 7 Purdue Boilermakers. Michigan comes into this game number 1 in the nation, so that's got to feel pretty good. They are fresh off of yet another very solid performance, guys. This has been one of the best teams in college basketball. They just took care of business in a 30-point blowout there over UCLA. This squad not getting any worse. They're top 10 in the nation in scoring. They're 18th in the nation total rebounding. They are just very talented up and down the roster. Crazy amount of talent on this team. They've got some huge wins this season, taking down Michigan State, taking down Nebraska. They are a very good team, but they're about to be, pretty severely tested here, taking on Purdue. That's a pretty tough opponent to face. And, Michigan really trying to, just cement themselves there atop the Big Ten standings. They've been maybe the best team in college basketball this season, so we'll see if they can do it. They're taking on a tough opponent here, and it is a home game for Purdue. The Boilermakers are number 7 in the nation. They've won 4 in a row, taking down Maryland, Oregon, number 7 Nebraska, and then a blowout 78-57 road win there at Iowa, avoiding the look-ahead spot there for the Boilermakers. Braden Smith's been a monster this year, no doubt about it. One of the best guards in the nation, 15 points and 9 assists per game while shooting nearly 50% from the field. It's kind of nuts. This is one of the best ball movement teams in the nation, 10th in the nation total assists. Their offensive numbers are very good. I do worry about them on the boards a little bit. They're not really on the same level as Michigan on the glass, and their defense, though, has been very good. We'll see what they look like here against a premier level opponent. Right now, the odds makers have this as basically a coin flip. Purdue is getting a 1.5 here at home. We've got a total of 156.5 in this game. Michigan, only 2-6 against the spread on the road, 15-10 to the under. Purdue, 4-9 against the spread at home, 14-11 to the under. I actually think taking under 156.5 is not insane in this specific matchup, but better than that, guys, I will be riding with Michigan here on the road. I just think they're the better team. I like Purdue, but I just don't think they're on the same level. I think their loss this season to Illinois kind of told us a lot, and they've also had some other hiccups like their loss at Iowa State where they got blown out, and I believe that was a home game. Yeah, that was a home game for Purdue. So definitely not infallible at home. I mean, only 4-9 against spread at home. So give me the Wolverines here playing on the road. Next on the dock, we see the Villanova Wildcats going on the road to take on the Xavier Musketeers out there in the Big East. We also see Abilene Christian and Tarleton State going into overtime, so it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Villanova 20-5 on the season. They're coming off a 5th straight win, taking down Creighton there in Creighton. Not nearly as tough to play at Creighton this season as it's been in years past. The Wildcats have been, a pretty solid road team this year. That's been nice. Very good numbers so far overall. They're 11-3 in the Big East. Clearly a step below St. John's and UConn, but this is still a very nice team. Defensive numbers are good. The offensive numbers are good. Coming off a game they scored 80, obviously looks good. They've done some very good stuff. Going up here against Xavier, they have not faced the Musketeers yet this season. We'll still face them twice here down the stretch. This team doesn't really have a monster leading scorer necessarily, but they find a way to put the ball in the basket. We'll see how well that goes here on the road against the Xavier Musketeers, who are 5-9 in Big East play. Not having a great time at 13-12 overall. They are coming off a win over Marquette, so they won that one by 6 points or 8 points. So yeah, I mean, they do get the job done there, but Marquette has been one of the bottom of the barrel teams in the entire conference. Trey Carroll leads this team with 18 points per game, shooting 50% from the field, but the Musketeers' offensive numbers are not great. Their defense is significantly worse, and they are not a great team on the boards, and that's why they're getting 4.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 151.5. Villanova is 7-2 against the spread on the road, 15-10 to the over. Xavier 7-8 against spread at home, 18-7 to the over. So both teams showing pretty big trends here towards the over. I will be strongly considering over 151.5 in this game, but I also really like Villanova here to get the winning cover on the road. They're by far the better team overall. They've got a lot more to play for. Not necessarily a look-ahead spot for Xavier, and we do see Villanova with UConn on deck, so we do worry a little bit about the look-ahead spot here, but I also think the over is in play as well. Next on the dock, we have the South Carolina Gamecocks going on the road to take the number 12 Florida Gators. Now, South Carolina, they have not been good. The worst team or tied for the worst record there in the SEC. They're 11-14 overall. They're coming off a 89-75 loss at Alabama. So, I mean, they stayed semi-attached, but we'll see if they can stay semi-attached in this one. The last time they played Florida, they lost 95-48, and that was a home game for the Gamecocks. So we'll see what they can do in this one. This squad, not great offensively. Obviously, the defense looks terrible against Florida. They're also 370th in the nation in total rebounding, which is a big problem when you're going up against the Florida Gators, who are 19-6 on the season. They're ranked at number 12 in the nation. They're also the second highest total rebounding team in the nation. They've won their last 4 games, taking down South Carolina in that blowout there, taking down Alabama, Texas A&M, Georgia, and the last time was a 92-83 win over Kentucky. So very good stuff in general from this team. We've loved what we've seen overall from Florida this year. There have been some bumps in the road, but they're the top team, albeit only by 1 game, in the SEC for a reason. That's because they've been very solid. They have Ole Miss on deck, so it's not much of a look-ahead spot. They are 23.5 point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 151.5. South Carolina is 5-2 against the spread on the road, 12-11-2 to the over. Florida is 5-7 against spread at home, 15-9-1 to the under. I think we're going to see another blowout in this one. Florida's not messing around. They're not going to want to give up anything close in this game. Now, 23.5 is probably too many points for me to be taking a favorite that I'm going to put in the pinned comment, but I definitely think the Gators get the job done here playing at home by a wide margin. Rolling right along, we got the North Carolina Tar Heels going on the road to take on the NC State Wolfpack. Now, North Carolina, they're 16th in the nation, 20-5 on the season. Missing Caleb Williams is obviously going to be a big deal, but it was not a big deal for them against Pitt. They win that one 79-65. Now, often the second game after we've seen one of your guys go down is the bigger deal, because the first game, everybody's hyped up. People are getting minutes they didn't normally get. Well, we'll see if they can stay locked in for this one against NC State. They have not played the Wolfpack yet this season. Things, have been looking relatively good. They did have that tough loss at Miami in the letdown spot after that win over Duke, but North Carolina's been a very good team this year. 8-4 in ACC play doesn't look amazing, but, in the top 65 in the nation in total rebounding. They're decent defensive team. We'll see what they can do here on the road. Playing on the road can be a little bit tough in the ACC. The Wolfpack, they come into this game 18-8 on the season, 9-4 in conference play, so technically like a half game above North Carolina in the standings. They had been on a nice little 6-game winning streak, but then the going got a little bit tougher. They had to go to Louisville. They got obliterated 118-77 in that game. Then a heartbreaker their last time out, a 77-76 loss against Miami. That was definitely a tough one. Darian Williams is a decent leading scorer. We do like we see from Copeland there at point guard. 14 points and 7 assists per game is very, very reasonable. This team can get up and down and they can score it. They're in the top 30 in the nation total offense. We like what we see from them defensively. Kind of, not really a super locked in defensive team. The rebounding is concerning and could be a significant issue in this game. The Wolfpack are 7.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 158.5. North Carolina is 3-4 against the spread on the road, 14-11 to the under. NC State is 6-1 against the spread at home, 16-10 to the over. I think this is too much respect given to NC State just in general, and a little bit too much shade being thrown on a North Carolina team that will miss Caleb Wilson. I keep saying that wrong. Caleb Wilson. How much will they miss him? We're going to have to wait and see, but I'll take North Carolina getting the 7.5 points this one. Maybe the books are telling us which way to go, but I still think the Tar Heels getting that many points have to be in strong consideration to be our dog of the day. Hey guys, before we jump in and break down the St. Louis Billikens going on the road to taking the Rhode Island Rams, we got to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. You can click the link in the description or the link there in the pinned comment, or just type StumpTheSpread.com into your browser of choice to get over there and check out the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. College basketball had been on a very, very hot run. We are looking like we are going to give some back today. It's been a day filled with bad luck. Now, obviously, Louisiana didn't show up. Houston still drawing very, very live, getting those 2.5 points. Marshall built a big lead and ended up being a push for us. They win that game by exactly 4 points after being up very, very big. That was a very tilting loss. UT Rio Grande Valley ended up bricking out for us by 1.5 points. That was devastating. And then Stony Brook, to finish things off, lost by the hook. So a really, really rough day here on the 16th. We had been running very, very hot. The last 2 days have been subpar, but things have been looking really, really good there on the college basketball picks. Definitely be looking for a bounce back there on Tuesday with a lot of the more big name teams playing. I think there's going to be some very good value there, for the premium members over there at StumpTheSpread.com. Also, keep in mind, NBA closed things out there on a nice 2-0 day, the last day before the All-Star break, and the All-Star break is winding down, so we're about to see NBA action back here in just a couple more days, and NHL obviously on break for the Olympics. NHL was absolutely blistering hot, as you've been seeing on the screen here for the last few videos. It was going nuts going into the Olympics break. So both those sports will be back very, very soon. And you can pick up a premium membership over there at StumpTheSpread.com at a very discounted rate right now because there's only college basketball going on. But hop in now, guys. Get that discount, and your premium picks will still be rolling once those, big time sports, NHL and NBA are back and running. So definitely get in on that if you're interested. There's also a slew of great free information over there at StumpTheSpread.com. There's always picks every single day under the free picks tab. You also have to get on that free email newsletter, guys. Cashed a ton of golf plays that went out in that email newsletter. Cashed some, NASCAR plays as well. NASCAR just so crazy that's becoming a major thing to bet on, but definitely some very, very good value there in those NASCAR streets. We cover all, and by we, I mean not me, I mean the premium handicappers over there at Stump the Spread, cover all of the major sports there when we're looking at that email newsletter. They also cover all the niche sports like golf, NASCAR, tennis. WNBA is covered during WNBA season, although that did so well last year, it might be headed to the premium section this year. Just tons and tons of great information. We have MLB season coming up before you know it. There'll be write-ups on that, and the golf write-ups, like I said, have just been nuts. So definitely make sure you get on that free email newsletter. All they ask for is your name and your email address over there at Stump the Spread to set up a free account, and that is how you get on that email list. So definitely make sure you're getting over there and getting that done. Also, get over to StumpTheSpread.com and pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie if you are interested. We're selling them right now at $39.99. That is at cost with free shipping, so it's a great time to snag one of those. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from me here every single solitary day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. We finally have hit the number of channel members. We've gotten up over 120. That's enough YouTube channel members to get us to doing 2 giveaways every single week. We did giveaway number 1 on Monday. We're going to do giveaway number 2 here on Thursday, I believe. So that is going to be really, really cool. Very excited to do that. Also excited to see Abilene Christian tie things up with 30 seconds left in overtime. Let's hope they can make this happen or lose by 1. That would be enough for us. But it's a great time to become a YouTube channel member. Also, you get your name up on screen in every single video, and you get early access to all of our videos. So there are a couple cool perks to being a channel member. Really appreciate all of my YouTube channel members. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com and checking out everything over there, especially get on that free email newsletter, guys. And now let's dive back. We've got a ton more games to cover. Next up, we've got the number 18 St. Louis Billikens going on the road to taking the Rhode Island Rams. The Billikens come into this game 24-1 on the season. They're 12-0 in conference play, absolutely destroying people out there in the A10. They're coming off a blowout win at Loyola Chicago, and now they got to head to Rhode Island. I don't believe... Have they played the Rams yet this season? Have they played Rhode Island? It doesn't appear that they have. I could be missing something, but we've loved what we've seen from St. Louis this season. They're 6th in the nation total scoring, 12th in total rebounding. Robbie Avila has been a monster for them this season. What was his nickname? Is not Derry Bird. I can't remember his nickname from a couple years ago in the NCAA tournament, but they're also a very, very good defensive team, and they've definitely got what it takes to make life tough for Rhode Island. The Rams are only 5-7 in conference play, 14-11 overall. They're coming off back-to-back losses. They lost by 5 against George Washington and then by 4 against Fordham. So they've played some close games, albeit against some kind of middling opposition. We'll see what they can do against like an actually good team. I mean, they did beat Dayton this season, but Dayton is not a good team. Tyler Contran leads this team in scoring, 15 points per game, 43% from the field, but they're around 315th in the nation total offense. They're in the 400s in total rebounding. Both of those things could be massive, massive problems here going up against St. Louis that excels in both those departments. The Rams are getting 11.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 151.5 in this game. St. Louis, they're 4-2-1 against spread on the road, 13-11 to the over. URI guys, 4-7-1 against spread at home, 14-11 to the under. I mean, I think we have to take the Billikens here. It's not much of a look-ahead spot. I mean, they've got LaSalle on deck. That's LaSalle on deck for Rhode Island. VCU is on deck, so it is actually a pretty big look-ahead spot for St. Louis. That does make us a little bit worried. We'll still be on the Billikens in this game. That just makes it slightly less likely to make the pinned comment, but definitely still has a chance. Next on the dock, we're looking at the number 21 Louisville Cardinals as they go on the road to take on the SMU Mustangs. Now, Louisville's 19-6 on the season, 8-4 out there in the ACC. They've been a little bit up and down, but it's been mostly ups recently, beating SMU, Notre Dame, Wake Forest, NC State in a blowout, and then an 82-71 win there over Baylor. They got to go on the road now to take on SMU, but this Louisville team has been very, very legit. Ryan Conwell leads the team with 19 points and 3 assists per game. They're in the top 20 in the nation in total offense. They're a very, very good rebounding team as well. The defense could use a little bit of help. I'm sure they feel good about the fact they've already beaten SMU once this season, 88-74. So that has to give them a lot of confidence coming into this game. In that one, we saw Louisville shoot 29% from 3. They also shot almost triple the free throws that we saw SMU shoot. So that is a little bit concerning, and things were even on the board. So we'll see if Louisville can stay locked in here on the road against this SMU Mustangs team that's 17-8 on the season. They're 6-6 in conference play. They're coming off a tough 1-point loss there at Syracuse. They are back home for this one, so maybe that will help. Have they had any huge games? I mean, they lost by 1 at home against NC State. They lost by 4 at home against number 16 UVA. They beat Virginia Tech playing at home. They played a very real game there at Duke. They also beat UNC at home. Boopie Miller is a very legit leading scorer, one of the best players in the nation, in my opinion. Around 20 points per game, 47% from the field, and 7 assists per contest. This is an elite level offensive team putting up 86 points per game. That's 22nd in the nation. They're good on the boards. They're decent, definitely decent, not great defensively. So we'll see what they can do in this one. I have a lot of good things to say about SMU. They are getting 3.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 167.5. Louisville is 2-5 against the spread on the road this season, 14-11 to the under. SMU is 5-10 against the spread at home, so not a great team against spread at home, 15-9-1 to the over. Guys, 3.5 points does feel like a little bit of a gift in this one. SMU does not have any sort of big look-ahead spot after this game. Louisville, on the other hand, who do they have coming up next? Definitely gotta check these look ahead spots, guys. Although they, kind of burned us here yesterday. Yeah, they faced Georgia Tech next, so that's not a big deal. I will be leaning towards SMU here, getting those 3.5 points, and I'll be leaning pretty hard. I do like a lot of what the Mustangs can do here. Louisville's been a pretty weak road team. Give me the Mustangs in this one. Well, guys, we got to hop over and look at Miami of Ohio going on the road to take on UMass, and very disappointing stuff there in that Abilene Christian game. They ended up losing by 3. Having the underdog lose in overtime is pretty brutal kind of stuff. It's just been one of those days. We're going to bounce back, though. Miami of Ohio, not really in need of a bounce back, guys. They're number 22 in the nation. They've been by far the best team in the MAC. They're still undefeated, albeit against a pretty freaking weak strength of schedule. They're only 1 game up on Akron, so no room for mistakes. They're heading to UMass in this one. They're taking their number 3 rated offense in the nation into UMass, so probably feel good about that. Brant Byers is a legit leading scorer, 15 points per game, 51% from the field. This team's decent on the boards, decent offensively, but man, can they just straight up outscore you. They beat UMass in a bit of a nail-biter the last time these two teams faced off. They won that game 86-84, and that was a home game for Miami of Ohio, so they did let things be very, very close. UMass did shoot the lights out in that game, but we also saw Miami of Ohio shoot 38 free throws to the 17 free throws of the Minutemen. So we'll see what happens in this one. UMass, they're 6-7 in MAC play, 15-11 overall. Leonardo Bertoli is not a bad leading scorer, 17.5 points per game, shooting nearly 60% from the field. They have dropped back-to-back games. Both were on the road, losing by 3 at Coastal Carolina and losing by 7 at Akron. So this is a big, big test for them. They're 91st in the nation total offense, so they can score it. They like to get up and down. Their defense numbers are very, very legit. They're only getting 2.5 points in this game, though. We've got a total of 164.5. Miami of Ohio is 8-2 against the spread on the road, 16-6 to the over. UMass 4-8 against the spread at home, 16-9 to the over. With UMass struggling so much playing at home, I think we have to side with Miami of Ohio in this game. They have Bowling Green on deck. I don't think that's like a crazy look ahead spot. I think the Red Hawks take care of business here and win this game comfortably by more than 3. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at the TCU Horned Frogs going on the road to taking the UCF Knights. TCU, they're 6-6 in Big 12 play, 16-9 overall. They have won 3 straight games, so they're heating up kind of at a pretty good time. They beat Kansas State by 2. They hosted number 5 Iowa State, won that game 62-55, and then they avoided the look-ahead spot just barely, going to Oklahoma State, not the look-ahead spot, the letdown spot, going to Oklahoma State and winning 95-92. That was a crazy one. This team has done some good stuff this year. I don't believe they've played UCF. No, they have not. They're not a team where their numbers jump off the page at you. They're decent offensively. They can play some defense, as evidenced in holding Iowa State to only 55 points, but that's not necessarily an every night thing. We do see a solid leading scorer there in David Punch, but not a squad that's just drowning in elite level talent. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against UCF. The Knights are 6-6 in conference play as well. They're coming off 3 straight losses though, but losing at Houston, at Cincinnati, and then a home loss against West Virginia. That home loss against West Virginia is not an amazing loss, but overall this team has been very good. Their season-long numbers do look better than TCU's. They're 74th in the nation total offense. We like what we see from Themis Folks, 15 points per game and 7 assists. This is not an elite level defensive team. We'll see what they can come up with down the stretch. The odds makers have this one as basically a coin flip. The Knights are 1.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 154.5. TCU is 4-2 against the spread on the road, 13-12 to the under. UCF is 7-8 against spread at home, 14-10 to the under. I do feel like UCF is the more desperate team, and they are playing at home in this one, so I am going to lean a bit towards the Knights in this game, but this one's not going anywhere near the pinned comment. I am scared of this very hot TCU team at the moment. They are playing on the road, though, which can be a little tough. Next up, guys, we're out in the A10. We've got the George Washington Revolutionaries going on the road to take on the VCU Rams. Now, George Washington, the Revolutionaries, come into this game fresh off a big win there over George Mason. We were on George Washington in that game, so that was very, very nice. They get the 72-53 win. Really never in doubt. This is a team that's going to get out there and run and try and outscore you. Rafael Castro, 16 points per game, 64% from the field. Very, very efficient numbers from him. They're in the top 50 in the nation total offense. They're a decent rebounding team. Now, their defensive numbers are not really off the charts. We'll see what they can do here to try and slow down VCU. a team they have not played yet this season. So we'll see how they stack up against a very good Rams team that's 20-6 on the season. They're 11-2 in conference play, 2 games back there of St. Louis. They're coming off yet another win. What is this winning streak up to? Like 9 games or something like that? They went into Richmond and got the 11-point win there. They've knocked off LaSalle recently. They beat Dayton. They beat Fordham. They beat Louisville, Chicago. This team is they're kind of killing it. Now, they do have St. Louis on deck. So this is a massive, massive look-ahead spot here for the Rams. They're 46th in the nation in points per game. Their defensive numbers are good. The rebounding numbers are good. They've got a very good leading scorer in Terrence Hill Jr. We've also liked what we've seen from Jordan Tillery at points this season. 57% from the field is very, very good. Bro just doesn't get a crazy amount of minutes. Now, the Rams are 7.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 163.5. George Washington is 2-5 against the spread on the road, 14-10 to the under. VCU is 6-9 against the spread at home. They're a 500 over/under team. I am going to lean a bit towards VCU. It is a huge look-ahead spot. Like I've said, that can be a little bit tough. They are about to have that rematch with SLU, but I think the Rams find a way to get the winning cover here against a George Washington team that really struggles away from home. Next up, guys, we're back to the ACC. We've got the Virginia Tech Hokies going on the road to take on the Miami Hurricanes. Now, Virginia Tech, 17-9 on the season, although only 6-7 in ACC play. They're coming off a loss to Florida State, 92-69 loss to Florida State. I mean, not a great loss. They did beat Clemson right before that, so very much fell victim to the letdown spot. Now they're going to take on Miami. They have not played the Hurricanes yet this season. We like what we've seen from the Hokies defensively over the last couple games. Obviously, not so much against Florida State, but a very, very good game defensively there against Clemson. They did really struggle against Duke, but everybody struggles against Duke. We'll see what they can put together here playing on the road against a Miami team that's 20-5 on the season, 9-3 in conference play. They've won 3 straight games, beating Boston College, that huge win over number 11 UNC, and then a nail-biter of a 1-point win there at NC State. They're back home for this one. They do have Virginia, UVA, number 14 UVA on deck, so it is a look-ahead spot. We've liked what we've seen from Malik Renaud, 20 points per game, 56.5% from the field. Trey Donaldson is also one of the best guards in the nation, in my opinion, 15, 16 points per game, and 6 assists. We like what we've seen from Shelton Henderson as well, shooting nearly 60% from the field and scoring 15 points per game. That's a big part of why this team is in the top 45 in the nation total offense. They're very, very good on the glass. They're giving up only 70 points per game, and all of that adds up to the Miami Hurricanes being really big favorites here despite the look-ahead spot. They're 8.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 150.5. Virginia Tech, 5-1-1 against the spread on the road, 14-12 to the over. Miami, 6-7-1 against the spread at home, 15-8-1 to the over themselves. I really like over in this game. I think we can definitely bank on seeing over a 150.5 total points. I mean, I wish these two teams had played each other already this season, so we had a little bit of a sample size there, but still, I like the over a lot. In terms of a side, I am going to be leaning towards Virginia Tech. They're just too good against the spread on the road to ignore. I think they find a way to keep things very, very close, and you always have to worry about Miami falling victim to that look ahead. Next up, guys, a pretty big game. We've got the UCLA Bruins heading to Michigan State to take on the Spartans. Now, UCLA, they're fresh off an 86-56 blowout loss there at Michigan. Now they, stay in the Great White North to take on Michigan State. We've liked some of what we've seen from UCLA this season, but they're so bad on the glass. It's not like their rebounding numbers jump out at you too much either. They're a decent offensive teams at some different points. They barely got by Washington. They did blow out Rutgers, but they lost to Indiana. They blew out Oregon, but played a very close game against a terrible Northwestern team. So they're not really a squad that I have a ton of faith in. Michigan State, they're 15th in the nation. They're 10-4 in conference play. They're 20-5 on the season. They're in a huge bounce back spot after getting just kind of worked at Wisconsin. They lose that game 92-71. That was kind of predictable. We were on Wisconsin pretty big in that game because Michigan State was coming off their biggest win of the season, probably, where they took down number 5 Illinois. Now, this is also a kind of big look-ahead spot for Michigan State. They have Ohio State on deck and then Purdue. We'll see if they can stay locked in here. I mean, Jeremy Fears has put up some very good games this season. Bro is averaging 15 points and 9 assists per game. They're in the top 22 in the nation total rebounding, and they're a dominant defensive team. So we'll see if that all translates here against UCLA. The Spartans are 8.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 139.5. UCLA, they're only 2-5 against the spread on the road, 13-12 to the under. Michigan State, 6-7-1 against the spread at home, 15-10 to the under themselves. I'm not super interested in under 139.5. It's not a very big number, but guys, I will take Michigan State here playing at home. 8.5 might feel like a lot, so if you wanted to get super conservative, you could adjust the line, or you could just take them on the money line, but I think we see Michigan State win this one by double digits the vast majority of the time, as they will just completely dominate on the glass. Rolling right along, we got number 24 Wisconsin. The Badgers are going on the road to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, Wisconsin 18-7 on the season, 24th in the nation. They're coming off back-to-back huge wins. They take down number 8 Illinois, and that was at Illinois. That was a crazy game. And then they take down Michigan State 92-71. Nick Boyd was a monster, or has been a monster really all season long. 21 per game, 4 assists, very efficient shooting numbers. We've also loved what we've seen from Nolan Winter this season, 58% from the field and 14 per game. This team is in the top 42 in the nation in total offense. They're a good defensive team. Their rebounding numbers are working out. They're not necessarily an elite level rebounding team, but there has been a ton to like about the Wisconsin Badgers here down the stretch this season. They've just played great. We'll see if they can keep playing great here as they go on the road to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes, who had 16-9 on the season and 8-6 overall, have work to do here at the end of the season, and they've got plenty of opportunities. They play Wisconsin, then they go on the road to Michigan State. They also still have Purdue on deck for this season, so we'll see if Bruce Thornton and company can take care of business. They're 95th in the nation total offense. They're a good defensive team. I wouldn't say great, but I would say good. The problem is they really struggle on the boards. They're around 300th in the nation total rebounding. That is something I think could be a big problem here for them against Wisconsin team that they already lost to 92-82 earlier this season, and that's got to make you a little bit worried if you are a Buckeyes fan. Now, in that game, we saw things be pretty even on the boards, also very even free throw numbers, and the Badgers still win this game by 10. Really didn't get homered too hard, and yeah, the turnover numbers were very even as well. So the Buckeyes are getting a 1.5 here at home. We've got a total of 158.5. Wisconsin is 5-1 against the spread playing away from home this season. They're 15-10 to the over. Ohio State only 4-9-1 against the spread at home. Guys, I think this is a pretty mandatory spot that we back the Wisconsin Badgers. They're red hot right now. Maybe they could be in for something of a letdown, but I'm not loving what I'm seeing from Ohio State. They're a little bit one-dimensional on offense too, so definitely give me Wisconsin. I think they probably win this one walking away. Rolling right along, we get the number 9 Nebraska Cornhuskers going on the road to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, Nebraska, we all remember that insanely hot start they got off to. They've cooled off a bit, but 22-3 on the season and number 9 in the nation, and 11-3 in Big Ten play is nothing to hang your head about. They have lost 3 out of their last 5, losing to Michigan, Illinois, and Purdue. Okay, those are some of the toughest teams in the entire nation. So I'm not about to cast a lot of aspersions. This team is still elite defensively. They gave only 49 points their last time out, destroying Northwestern. We'll see what they can do here on the road. The last time they were on the road was against Rutgers, and they won that game 80-68. So not a lot falling apart here for the Cornhuskers. Have they played Iowa this season? No, they have not. So we'll see what they can do. Price Sanford obviously hoping for a big game. The Hawkeyes, the Iowa Hawkeyes, they're 8-6 in conference play, 18-7 overall. This team has been no joke. They had won 6 straight games, but then they lost to Maryland. Not a great look there at all. They followed that up with a 78-57, 21-point loss there against Purdue. Now, that was a home game, so not exactly doing a great job protecting the home court. They also struggled against Northwestern not too long ago. They did win that game. It was a home game for them, and they still only won by 6 against Northwestern. I mean, Bennett Sturritz is a monster, 20 points per game and 5 assists per game, shooting over 50% from the field. You don't see that every day. Don't think I'm saying anything bad about him, but the problem for this Iowa Hawkeyes team is they are 510th in the entire nation in total rebounding. That's just not going to get you a lot of wins. It's great you play good defense, but you got to finish those possessions with the defensive rebound, and they struggle to do that. Despite all that, the Hawkeyes are 1.5-point favorites here at home. We got a total of 137.5. Nebraska is 6-1 against the spread playing on the road this season. They also are not in a look-ahead spot. They've got Penn State on deck. They're 17-8 to the under. Iowa's 8-7 against spread at home, 15-10 to the over. Guys, we're taking a road underdog here in a conference game. That doesn't feel too bad. It's only 1.5, but definitely give me the Cornhuskers here. You could also just take them on the money line. I obviously don't mind that. It's 1.5, but I do think Nebraska is definitely the side you want in this one. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we've got the Baylor Bears going on the road to take on the Kansas State Wildcats. Now, Baylor has been very underwhelming this season. They're 3-9 in conference play, 13-12 overall. They've lost 3 straight games, losing at Iowa State, losing to BYU, and losing to Louisville. Now, that Iowa State game was very close. So is the BYU game. The Louisville game maybe got out of hand a little bit, but Baylor really had to go on some insane run here if they were going to, build any sort of tournament resume, and that really hasn't happened. It's kind of unfortunate. Their season-long numbers do look good. Cameron Carr is a monster leading scorer. It's going to be a shame to not see him in the NCAA tournament, probably. But yeah, Baylor going to have to figure something out here down the stretch. Now, Kansas State is dealing with a lot right now. They just dismissed their head coach. a little bit weird, although the way he was calling out his players was a little bit weird too. They're 10-15 on the season, 1-11 in conference play. They've lost their last 6 games in a row. That loss to Houston their last time out was not really embarrassing, but losing 91-62 against Cincinnati in their last home game, that's pretty freaking bad. Also, apparently Kansas State is trying to say they're firing him for cause. I do not think that's going to hold up. The Wildcats have a legit leading scorer. Their season-long numbers on offense aren't bad, but they're a terrible, terrible defensive team, and that's why they're getting 4.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 161.5. Baylor, 3-4 against the spread on the road. They're a 500 over-under team. Kansas State, 3-12 against the spread at home, 13-12 to the over. Despite all that, guys, I'm leaning just a hair towards Kansas State. Now, I'm not going to get too involved in this game, but I do think it's one of those rare dead cat bounce situations. The head coach gets fired. Probably all the players hated him given the way he was talking about him. So I think we see a big max effort game here from Kansas State playing at home, and maybe they can get the cover in this one. But like I said, I'm not going to be very invested in this game. Last but not least, we're headed out to the SEC. We've got the Georgia Bulldogs going on the road to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Now, Georgia, they're 17-8 on the season. They're coming off back-to-back losses, though. Losing to Florida, that one makes sense. But then going into Oklahoma and getting absolutely obliterated, that's a bad look. This team is 9th in the nation in total offense. Didn't look like it there at Oklahoma, though. We'll see if it can look a little bit more like it here on the road against Kentucky. We'll see. Obviously, Jeremiah Wilkinson has been a monster this season. Marcus Millender has been a good leading point guard, but I have a lot of questions about Georgia as they go on the road to take on Kentucky. Now, Kentucky's 8-4 in SEC play. They are also coming off a loss at Florida, but it was a very close one. They lose that game 92-83 in a letdown spot after a win there over number 25 Tennessee. This team has been a little bit all over the place. They've been a bit better down the stretch. I mean, wins over Arkansas and Tennessee do not grow on trees. They're 76th in the nation total offense, 89th in total rebounding, and they do play some defense. They are 7.5-point favorites at home in this one. We've got a total of 161.5. Georgia is 4-3 against spread on the road, actually 13-12 to the under. Kentucky is 8-8 against spread at home, 13-12 to the under themselves. Despite those tiny trends towards the under, I do like the over a good amount in this game. I think we're going to see something of a track meet out there. In terms of a side, I will lean slightly towards Georgia getting 7.5 points, but I have no conviction in this game at all. I'm going to be staying far away, although it should be an exciting game to watch. Guys, that's all the games we have out there for today on a very busy Tuesday. Do me a huge favor, slam that thumbs up button, help me get these videos promoted out there. I really appreciate all of you doing that, and hopefully we're in for a big winning day. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel if you're new around here on the road to 100,000 subs, guys. Let's make it happen. I appreciate every single one of you for watching these videos. Take a second, click that link down there in the description, get over there to stumpthespread.com and check the prices of those premium packages. They're drastically discounted right now, so this could be a perfect time for you to jump in and get in the mix. Also, get in over there on the free picks, under the free picks tab, and definitely get on that email list. It's a great resource. Guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.